Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave, my cave is a moving definition. Every shop, I have always maintained that every shop is a philosophy, is an externalization of a philosophy about how to work. And my philosophy about how to work in this space is changing. And a couple of things facilitated this. Over the last year, I have come to the realization that this shop space, which is only about 450 square feet, is just not big enough for me. That I need more room in here around me, and I need more tools. I need access to more tools. The tile puzzle has gotten a little too intense. And the natural place for me to expand was always here in the display area, lined with all the Billy bookcases. Lined with all the, there you can see some Billy bookcases. But what is all this other crap? Yeah, so when George Lucas and his team first moved to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, from LA in the late 70s as part of him forming Industrial Light and Magic and building the machine to make the movies he wanted to make. One of the things that has always been a part of that original model shop has been, so when he put up Industrial Light and Magic, part of that was the model shop. And that's where so many of the models we all grew up with and love got built and made and filmed. And those buildings, which were all lining either side of Kerner Boulevard up in San Rafael, California, are all now finally just to become regular old commercial spaces for, who knows, medical insurance, it doesn't even matter. Those stages are gone. And all of the things that was in them were gone. There was a big auction. A lot of my friends and I bought stuff from the auction. But one of the things that was in that space, in the second floor model shop, which was the OG model shop, it was called Uptown Models because it was on the second floor. And you could see Joe Johnson in there working on Boba Fett. You could see Lauren Peterson and Steve Gawley and Richard Taylor and all these other guys, Richard Miller, all these other folks, all these OG amazing model makers who became my colleagues and friends working in this space. And one of the key aspects of that space were all the racks of Greeblies and architectural materials. You see where this is going. I agreed to be the steward of this wall of model making. I knew that I could probably accommodate it. And so when I said, I will take it, my offer was accepted. And now I have this issue in which I have 2 tons of stuff here. I have this room it doesn't quite fit in. And here's what is about to happen. This is going to be a multi-day video. This is not a one-day build. Here's what's about to happen. We're going to go through the Billy bookcases and we're going to photograph and track every single one. Every shelf on every case goes into a file box. Those file boxes get named and numbered according to this layout. So I'm packing up all my display, but I'm leaving my mental map of it sacrosanct. So everything that went on every shelf, each goes into an individual box. That's next week that starts to happen. But for right now, we're just trying to clear out some of this space. We're trying to move some tools over to the tested offices. We're renting a storage space nearby. Yeah, I've often stated that my shop is a tile puzzle, and it's a tile puzzle in desperate need of a couple of extra tiles. And that's what we're trying to give it today. When we are done, hopefully you will see me doing a video from the same location as I am now, except that all of these walls over here are my hardware store, are the hardware store of the cave. And that means, I'm trying not to move too fast to make you sick. That means that all of this stuff, all the Sortimos here, also go over there. Yeah. And then more tools come over here. And when I need the materials, I come over here into the hardware store and I go shopping. Where does the display go? That is a question for another video. But for right now, we're embarking on me creating some space. And I'm shooting this video, we're not officially even starting on this kind of until tomorrow, but even in getting started requires so much work that we're getting started on today. So I thought I'd shoot the intro today, and I'll shoot some time lapses as we go. Joey's going to come in and start filming as well. It's going to be a process. I have never embarked on a shop infrastructure project this large. This is without a doubt like head and shoulders bigger than anything I've ever tackled. And it's going to take a team of us, a bunch of us, and we'll do. Here we go. So it's the end of the first day. I know I haven't filmed anything for you. I'm sorry, but it's like this job is so big. I feel like I've only just gotten started, even though we worked on it all day today. So what we have is a bunch of boxes. Helmets are going in the boxes with pictures of each helmet on the front of the box. Actually, if you look up here, we've cleared all the helmets up here. We've cleared them all. We're working on these. We're about halfway through my helmets. We haven't done the ones. I apologize for those of you prone to motion sickness for moving the phone too fast. It's hard not to. Anyway, I'm really pleased with how it's going. Starting tomorrow morning, we're going to start photographing each of the shelves and numbering it according to Freddie's original number letter system. Hopefully by Tuesday of next week, all of these cabinets are gone, and we are turning this into my hardware store. Part of me, so there's a logistical part of me right now at this moment in time that both knows this will be done and is at the same second not positive it's possible. But the second part is only because I can't quite see all the steps. There are too many little steps. But we'll get through them. Got a good team. All right. So I know you just had one video and another video, and it's not like we got anywhere, but we'll try and get a little more footage tomorrow. Okay. It's a couple of days later, and it doesn't really probably look like anything has happened. This is, good criminy. Look at all this. But some things have been happening. Let us go look. What has been happening is that the helmets are all gone. Every helmet has been wrapped up. Maybe close to 100. Even out of the ceiling. The ceiling has also been cleared of most of its stuff. Yeah. That's huge because that was the critical step to getting rid of the Billy cases. I'm going to save those helmet hangers. Those, that is, there we go. Those helmet hangers. Where did the helmets go? I'm glad you asked. This is about a quarter of them. Yeah, this is about 30, maybe about a third of them. So this is the storage method, is a picture of each helmet is on the outside of the box that the helmet is in. That makes them very cross-referenceable. Later on, I plan to number this and then make it a digital file, take all the pictures that I took for those, put them in a digital file, and store them so that I know where everything actually is. But here in the space, we are ready for phase 2. And this is part of what phase 2 is. We have 100 of these. I'm so sorry. We have 200 of these. And we have 14 Billies with 6 shelves each. And I'm hoping that each shelf is contained by one of these boxes. And so what I'm going to do is actually start going through and taking pictures of every shelf, shelf 1, shelf 2, shelf 3, shelf 4, shelf 5, etc. And each shelf gets a photo, a number. That number goes on one of these file boxes, and then it gets stored. Once all that, as soon as I've taken the photo of these, they can start to get packed in. And each one is already numbered. Freddie worked out a letter numbering system. This is cabinet G, shelf number 2, that kind of thing. And so over the next 5 or 6 days, we're going to wrap up all of these shelves, and phase 3 is the removal of the Billy bookcases. Phase 4 is the installation of all the material I see the light, but it's not clear. I've got someone new helping me in the shop. Orlando has been working with me for a few weeks now, here and there, and it's fantastic. It's been really great having him oversee a bunch of this. And when we're in the crush of it next week, I'll have a couple more helpers to introduce you to and to help and assist in the packing of all this into storage. Yeah. All right. So pictures. Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of every single shelf. Just to fill you in on a little inside baseball about when we filmed this. It's currently mid-December. I've just finished filming my favorite things with Norm and a couple of the last pieces to camera for the year. And a pair of fans sent me this homemade, beautiful Angel of Verdun blade from Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, All You Need Is Kill. And I was walking in with the box that houses this, and Orlando was like, dude, why are you still bringing stuff into this space? Fair enough. And right now, I'm just making all the little labels for taking pictures of all of these guys. F5, F6, G. Okay. E1, F1, F3. This is the end of day 3. And yeah, there we go. We've got the 2 Plastrucks. It's an insane collection. It's amazing. Obviously, lots of these parts have to get hot glued to the fronts of their drawers. That is a much later thing. I now think that this standing cabinet is going to go right here next to these guys. And then once that is up, my long architectural tubing collection will go here in 2 stacks of 4. And then I'm thinking that the big blues, these giant mofos, that they're actually going to live here and there. Yeah, and I'm gonna have some room up top that I can actually put stuff like these guys. Totally vital. And then, then this is so exciting because I just realized this. Like, I'm not just bringing the Sortimos over, although I am. I am also bringing, that guy. Yeah, I don't need to store nuts and bolts here. No, they can go into the next room. That's the hardware store. Same thing here. This is part of the hardware store too. The lab oven could stay. It's a tool. But I can move other stuff over here. I can put a grinder over there. It's nice to have a grinder. Anyway, I'm still overwhelmed. This is still what I'm looking at. But we have made tremendous progress. Really, really phenomenal progress today. There's a lovely feature here. Nelson Hall built these, Nellie. Nelson Hall built these, and to accommodate the people who might be shorter, who still needed to see what was in the bins. There are, can you see the mirror? I need a light on there. Oh my God, my flashlight's dead. I'll shoot this again next week. We've gone great guns. Ooh, I'm going to keep that one. We've gone great guns. Now it's incumbent on me to figure out how to get rid of, like the cases, I know how those are packing up. That's great. Now I need to figure out how this stuff packs up. That's trickier. It's trickier, but we'll do it. I'm so psyched. Just look in here. Here we go. Oh, what's in here? Red plastic, red styrene architectural tubing. Who makes red stuff? Me is happy. It's Friday afternoon. It's time to go home. I'm going to go home and have a steak sandwich. Hi, everybody. It's the morning. It is Monday morning. Last week, we got a lot of work done in the cave. It's just been a couple minutes for you, but we got all this stuff up and stuff is starting to move around the cabin. Hey, Adam, you set up the shot and stuff is already missing. Where's your time lapse? This is one of the downsides of me producing myself, is I get excited about stuff and then I go and I just do it. And I forget that I should have filmed it. So, yeah, we are close to being able to remove that. It's going really, really well here. I'm out of words. I have no more words. I'm about to move in a very tall rack here. That's what's about to happen. For real? For real. Come on. I think I understand how I want this to go. This is going to go back. Both of these are going to go back because that table right here behind there is going to move. So those will go back and they'll be more part of this same wall. And then I plan to move all of my upright K&S material to this side of that. It all lives right frickin' there. It's fantastic. All I have to do is figure out a place for my Boba Fett jetpack and my boom mic and my Mercury cockpit and my Odysseus axe. Once I find a place for all those, then I got plenty of room. That's a respectable wall. Now that needs a whole nother rack just like this one, I think. I may have to get some plywood tomorrow.
There's no cubbyhole plans within all
Oh,
stuff.
oh,
It's
perfect,
cubbyhole,
yeah,
so
and
it's
then-
like a slotted,
Only
already
needs to wait
pre-existing.
until we're.
For
the
that
trees,
stuff?
yeah.
No.
So-
That's all for that like 300-pound
These are all
brass
empty?
thing.
Oh.
All the brass goes in here.
Let's start with you.
So I talked last night about how these big blues were going in on either side of the bathroom, and we just tipped this one up. It weighs maybe 900 pounds, 800 pounds. It's all particle board and melamine. It's actually going to create kind of a tunnel into my bathroom, which I hadn't quite realized. The other big blue is about to go in right here. And then I get all this fantastic top storage. Like I said, at each stage I only know the very next thing. And the very next thing is that this monstrosity gets tipped up on its foot and put in here on the other side of the wall. That actually will free up a lot of room for us in here. And that's, with this, it's a tile puzzle, as you can see, and we're just trying to move the tiles so we can get the next one slotted in. All right, here we go. And this one, this is all the way. Actually, what we may do
Take that
is
out?
we may do just like a couple of us here and see if you can pull it. Oh. Thanks for supporting the old dude, Orlando. One up.
That's top heavy.
That is freaking top
I
heavy.
got my Christmas present early. Nice for
Okay.
you.
Hold on. I'm gonna get in. Good. Okay, coming up slowly. Yep. Sorry, yeah. Ooh, doing great. Beauty! Oh, that was magnificent.
I want to see a little bit of stuff.
All right, here we go.
Christmas present.
All right.
There's stuff to do.
Okay, clockwise. There we are.
Moldy.
Dude!
All right, let me see the mold in there. Look at that. You got 2 inches to spare. Perfect.
That is amazing. Amazing. We're moving forward, and I now know what the next step is. So we have been able to build up this entire wall. It's going really, really well, and I've actually even been able to not have to remove too much of the infrastructure behind. I thought I dropped the internet, but it's still working, so apparently I dropped some old version of the internet. The next thing is, with this blank space of wall, I'm going to bring in the nut and bolt sorter that I built here on the channel. It's now going to live in here, and it was moving it in here that was like the penny drop for me about this is my hardware store. So let's go get it. Rolling. It's rolling. Okay, good. This is one of the biggest things I ever built on the channel. And it has actually been an unqualified success. Lanyards! Lanyards! Yeah, you're getting packed up soon enough.
doors off and they come straight up.
Good. Dude. Having that in here, frankly, feels a little like being a grown-up. It's really exciting.
That's real dust too. That's not
I know I'm on the do not step on me step. Close your knife. There we go. The lanyards. This is every lanyard I've ever been handed since 1987. It's like 20 pounds. Oh, excellent. Awesome. There we go. I'm having this very funny issue, a very me issue, which is that I want to do some. I was just looking at my Chewbacca, and I was like, maybe Chewbacca should live up here. And then I thought, I won't have access to him, but I will get to see him. And that's the thing for me, is like I want a lot of this stuff up and around so I can see it, but I have just cleaned up that pathology, and it's so not fun that I'm actually like trying to resist that urge. It will still happen, but I am resisting it somewhat. Understand that everything that was in this space was here under a certain philosophy, that this was like a hangout room and a temporary place to play stuff. And now it's definitely going to still end up being a temporary place to play stuff, because in every shop a horizontal surface will soon be covered, yes. But at the same time, like, the whole space philosophically changes, and you've got to be aware of where that change might occur so that you can integrate that new mental picture into the process. And there's no place that's happening more than actually over here by the lathe. This is where the hardware store will actually just be the tools. I'm going to bring in my other lathe. I think it's going to live here. I think everything here may end up going away. It may end up coming in here and being in a different location. I'm just not sure. No face has to go somewhere. So, again, piece by piece, I know the next things are to clear out this stuff and get that shelf out of the way. Once that shelf is out of the way, I have a picture on what is left. Again, realize that for like all of this styrene, there's spaces on the big blue racks for this. So this can all end up getting integrated beautifully. It's like the big push of moving all the billies out is just the first 15% of the actual organizational load. The rest is like me moving one object at a time for weeks. Hopefully not that long, but that's what it feels like. I am really, really ecstatic with the amount of progress we have made. And it is hilarious to see my lathe from the backside. Because look at this. I didn't build a back on this because I didn't need to. I just needed the cross supports. That's all I did. This is we could make a ghost film. Oh, the door's open. It's talking to your dead dad. We're in a great position. I can't believe how big this room is, and I am sure in a week I'll be like, I can't believe how small this room is. Both of those things are true. Okay, we're back. So things have been going really well. The outside room is incredibly... The outside room here is... Here, let's see if I can show it to you. Hey, we're back. Things are moving really, really well. We are now in the grind portion where everything we do will feel useless for hours until we reach a certain tipping point, and then it'll feel like we're making progress. I'm in the decision-making phase because I've got all these interdependent things. I'm gonna bring over my other lathe, and I'm gonna put it right here behind my first lathe. But that means I actually need to take away some of this fighter pilot stuff I've set up around the lathe in order to be able to actually have the two lathes. That's the way I want them set up. But that means that far box in the corner has to move because of reasons, and it has to move. That means other things have to move in other places. So it's this whole interdependent dance. And this is when the big gestures happen, right? Like over here, we've moved away all the sortimos, and that means that the belt sander can live in here and the sanders can start to move over. That's my current thinking. But then I was looking at this zone over here. Here we are on the other side of the mill, and the nuts and bolts are gone from here. So what can live in this beautiful holiday? Well, I'm actually thinking, am I actually pointing to it? I'm actually thinking that it's the drill press. So a few years ago, I was looking on Craigslist for random things, and I came across this incredible rolling base for my drill press. It's insane. It allows me to roll it around and weighs like 300 pounds, and it fits my drill press exactly. I'm thinking of rolling my drill press over to the other side of the mill. I can't really see a reason it has to be here, except that was sort of the natural place it was when I first moved in. But it inhibits my ability to get to all these tools, and I feel like it will open this shop way up. So that's the first thing I'm doing, even though I can't quite conceive of how it's going to change everything else. That's the first part. One step at a time. So we've had the time lapse running for a couple of days now. And what you'll notice on it when you watch it is how many different configurations I have gone through for this back wall and this side here. And it's all to a certain purpose of like engendering a certain kind of flow to the space. And I don't know exactly what I mean by that, but I sort of know what I mean by that. So I don't think this is ever a job that could have been catted out and yield the same level of sensitivity to my process that this method does. Although I'm here to say that this method is awful. Like, I do not feel any more organized today than I did 4 days ago, but I know that I am. I am trusting my intellectual faculties to like deal with that. This shop is shaping up. It is starting to shape up. All the sortimos against that back wall, that's really working for me. All the paints I got in a single column, there they are. I'll work on that in a little bit. This stuff is getting filled out, and other racks of mine are finding their way into this stuff. That is spectacular. Right now, I know that I'm going to have a big bath of light over here, over the second lathe. Oh, yeah. Come and meet my other lathe. You have seen this lathe before. This was M7's lathe for the entire time that M7 existed. This was its lathe. Amazingly, the only 2 times I ever went out on Craigslist to buy lathes, I found 2 of the same exact brand. On the other side is a 15 by 40. This one is a 12 by 36. They are both gap bend lathes. Gap bend means that right here is a section of the ways that actually can lift out. And then you can spin a bigger thing in there should you need to. So I know that there's a bath of light that will go over this, and I actually think that may change the feel of the space. I also know I want a bath of light over here, and luckily enough, I have 2 LED strip warehouse fixtures. So I'm going to try them out. I'm going to hang them up, put them up, and again, I don't know how to finish this job, but I know the next stage is lighting. and that lighting will help me see this room a little more clearly. And by the way, actually, I want to say one of my more esoteric costume acquisitions is the bear head from Workaholics, the one that Blake wears. Yeah, right? Like, this thing is freaking awesome. I love this. Makes me very, very happy. But what I wanted to say was to temporarily put this off to the side. We put it on Iron Man here. Dude, Iron Man, he looks legit. He's a hunter from a long line of hunters. Oh, it's the middle of, I don't even know how many days. Dudes and dudettes, Deuteronomy. It's hard for me to wrap my head around this space right now. It is so substantively different. So we're working out the last big things, like R2D2, he's just living here until I fix him and he goes off to some other adventures. The gun display case, that's going to go into the tested offices and end up just being stored for a little while because I don't have a place to display it. I have to pull some costumes down and some other things like that. But this is the big one, is the rug is going away. Oh yeah, I don't even know what to do with this. Well, I'm going to do a show and tell on that because it's a really amazing thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on a time lapse, and we're going to start removing some of the last pieces here and dressing up the space. Amazing. Look at that. I could not see that in my mind's eye yesterday, even though I knew it was there. I'm so happy. I want to spend all my time in this room. All right, here we go. You're good. Okay. It's done. This is it. It is not done. A shop is never, ever, ever done. But this is without a doubt the most significant shop renovation I have ever undertaken in my life. And that includes building this shop the first time. I've spent 13 years sitting on a workbench over there, and this has been a display area. I never thought I'd get all that display stuff packed away in a way that is still retrievable, but we achieved it. My assistant Veronica is an unbelievable project manager and managed this within an nth of the degree that it needed. It was amazing. My other space is 450 square feet. This adds almost 600 square feet to my shop area, and that I can walk around. There's room to exist. It isn't just the narrow corridor behind the desk. It's like, it's buoying. I am buoyant. I am ebullient. I'm over the moon about this. Lots of things will shift. Structurally, some of the stuff over here will change, but the basic gestures are in. We've got the racks of materials, more racks of materials, hardware store, parts and bits and bobs and paints and every last thing that I could need, nuts and bolts. It feels like I am, of course, a mature maker, but this feels like a real maturation of my framework for making. And I'm really grateful to have been able to show you even part of the process. I did not cover this build as well as I wanted to, but that's only because it was so overwhelming. I didn't have the extra mental wherewithal to do that. But thank you guys for joining me for this. There's a detailed tour of this space with a link in the description. So that's where you can get all the great stories. And I would love to hear your stories about shop reorganization in the comments. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time.